Hi everybody, welcome to another session of Info That Matters with Mark Purdy. He's a HST and rebate expert. He's going to speak to us today a little bit about pre-construction and investors and how we can make you save some money and understand a little bit more about things you probably don't know. Mark, welcome. Thanks today.
Thanks for having me.
If you want to start with telling us a little bit about yourself, your business, and how you help investors.
Let me see. We've been, as a company, we've been around now for about 17 years. We do all sorts of tax consulting. We got into investor tax consulting, if you like, because I'm an investor. I've been investing in real estate now for about 15 years, both resale, new construction, commercial. I've done some multi-res as well. But one of the things I found about 7 years ago is when you bought new construction, you pay a lot of tax and nobody knows that. You know, what about the HST? I'm buying this as a rental property. Is that an issue? Because I'd heard about HST, but I didn't know anything about it. My realtor, not a problem, HST's included, and I hear that story all the time from everybody else. When we got into it, when we finally went to close on the properties, we had bought 3 properties at this point. I was called by my lawyer about 24 hours before closing, and they said, you know, you need to bring a check for $76,000. And of course, you know, I had this conversation with my wife, who almost had a heart attack as well, and she said, well, can we get it back? And the answer was no. And that's what most people hear. Most people, about 24 hours before closing, they get this call. There's an uncomfortable silence, and you go, oh. And when you call your realtor, you call your lawyer, you call everybody that matters, everyone says you can't get it back. So that was crazy. Obviously, you know, the whole return on investment thought was out the window. And I'm like, why am I doing this new construction thing? I got to get back into resale that I know. About 3 weeks later, I found that yes, you could get it back. In fact, I got all 76,000 back in about 45 days. So that's why we started up the HST portion of our business. When we looked at it, there's a lot of people, something like, I don't know if you know this, it's about 150,000 new construction properties in Ontario now. Everybody's entitled to get it back, but nobody knows.
Yep.
And that's why we got involved in the business.
Excellent. Yeah, no, I think it was 2016, there was over $6 billion in unclaimed HST, money that should come back to the investors. That
It's crazy. You know, I don't know how accurate the numbers are. I just do some straight line math and I go, if there's 150,000 properties purchased and everyone's paying this HST and they're all entitled to get it back, how much money are we talking about? And when we multiplied it out, it was like $4.5 billion. And that's just Ontario. And that's the thing, Kevin. It's just Ontario. I'm hearing something like half a billion, $300-400 million goes back to investors. That means that there's $3 billion plus sitting up there. What could we do with that in the marketplace? What could you do with $3 billion?
I could find a couple things to do with that, I'm sure.